Hello, I am Ron Baker. Welcome to Empowered at Last. Today's subject is going to be a fun one, an encouraging and inspiring one. Today we're going to talk about options for fitness, and I'm specifically going to talk to those of you who have reached a stage where you're finding yourself getting much more attracted to the television, much more attracted to becoming a couch potato, whether that's because you work so hard and it's out of balance, or whether maybe you've reached the stage of midlife where you're losing your motivation to go to the gym, as an example. So what I'd like to talk about today is something that I've been discovering recently. I have had an in and out, on and off love affair with the gym, as an example. It is not my favorite way to stay in shape. However, I want to treat my body well. I want to be free to do the things that matter to me. The quality of our lives could not more fully be connected to our physicality and our physical bodies. Yes, we are a physical, emotional, mental, sexual, and spiritual being. We need to nurture and address all of those areas, and I've done various podcasts on all of those areas. We need to have clear, nurturing, fun ways to show up for all of those areas of our life. However, we tend to get so caught up in the busyness, in the working crazy hours, in the attempt to make more money, and the truth, I believe, is that if your life has become out of balance, it is because of some form of fear that has become compensated for and overcompensated for in particular ways. So as an example, I certainly have to watch myself where work is concerned. I could give you, sorry, I'm hitting the microphone. I could give you a long list of the things that are on my plate. Not only do I teach tons of private clients and groups and workshops, I do podcasts and YouTube channels and writing a book and building a platform and starting to speak. This is just the career part of my life. It is something I have to watch because though I enjoy the work that I do, thank goodness, I'm listening to going after the things that matter to me, but very insidiously, I can get caught up in so much achievement focus in my work that my life becomes out of balance. I am not interested in becoming another thought leader who is on a schedule of going from gig to gig to gig, speaking constantly, traveling constantly. Some of that in balance, because even if that might represent a certain level of success, I would much rather become a healthy paradigm, a healthy leader that says, please honor your life in balance, physical, emotional, mental, sexual, spiritual. Other categories that you might turn that into would equal career, relationships, health, well-being, fun, leisure, pleasure, and then taking care of all the physical structures of your life. Balance, 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 balance. You are so much more fulfilled when you are in balance. And today's episode is about fitness and bringing the fun back into fitness. So, as I shared, on and off, I have gone to the gym and have enjoyed it for a period of time. I'm not the kind of person who likes to get into a single routine and does it over and over and over. Now, if I am working out with someone, it makes it more interesting for me, and it's not just about doing X amount of reps working on my chest, you get the point. I have a desire to keep my body in shape so that I can have the freedom and the flexibility and the strength to continue into ages that most people are having challenge. Into the ages where most people are shutting down and they're exhausted from a life out of balance. I do want to stay so physically active for my whole life. And so recently, I was on a trip with my family. And on that trip, we ended up biking, hiking, and playing water volleyball. So much fun. And I was amazed just from a few days of playing water volleyball, how much better, how fit my physical body felt. And I was like, biking, hiking, and water volleyball. And now I'm adding tennis back into that to bring the fun back into fitness. So no matter what it is that you enjoy, explore. If you haven't been active in a while, I strongly recommend that you just begin slowly. If you jump from A to M rather than A to B, you're likely to overwhelm your body and it will give you an excuse to stop. But if you start gradually and you notice how you start to feel more energy and you start to feel more inspired and you start to feel connected to your physical self again, I encourage two things: stretching and walking. In the background, I don't know if you can hear this, but there are two huskies who live next door and they are howling at the moment, and I happen to love huskies, and so I have no problem with that. But if you can hear it, that is what's going on. So the two things, stretching and walking. Stretching gradually, just simple stretches, just literally raising your arms over your head, grabbing your hands and stretching upward, bringing your arms back. If that's too much for you, just start by squeezing your elbows toward the back and opening your chest, and breathe the whole time. Breathing is huge. That's bigger than huge. Breathing is huge in the impact of your fitness. If you don't breathe, you will build tension. If you don't breathe out, fully out, you will build tension, and your fitness will not be fun, even if you're just walking or stretching. So when you stretch, feel the release of tension. If you're stretching the other way with your arms, reaching out in front of you and pulling with one wrist and then the other, that will allow a relaxation. Stretching so many different ways. I have a course online that is called Deepening Intimacy, Abundance, and Proactive Health. I give so many examples of ways you can stretch, in addition to take care of yourself on a physical, mental, emotional level. So, walking is the second thing. Gradually, just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, build up, and then add speed to your walking. Because It's the cardiovascular, creating all of your systems waking back up, that will allow you to feel more alive. Again, if you go too much, too far, too fast, you will build some form of overwhelm or even physical pain. Stretch gently throughout your whole body and walk. Stretch before you walk, stretch after you walk. It doesn't take a ton of time. And while you're walking, either take the time to receive nature and enjoy the relaxation, enjoy the relief, or until you get to that point, use your walking as your contemplative time, where you contemplate whatever it is that you need to evaluate about yourself, your life, your relationships. Use the time for your inner journey as well. I cannot tell you the difference it makes when you stay active. I'm a big proponent of proactive choices, the choices that set you up well. It's why my closing is always choose well, live fully, and by all means within that, be good to you. So today's episode, proactive fitness. Show up for yourself. We get so caught up in feeling overwhelmed by life, sometimes like a victim of life, frustrated that others don't show up for us. But I have news for you. We tend to treat others how to treat us. We tend to teach others how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. If you're not showing up for you, you're giving the message, you don't really need to show up for me either, because I've decided I'm not really worth it. Those people who show up for themselves and build a sense of confidence and trust in their own value because they purposefully acknowledge the wonderful qualities about themselves, and then they show up to invest and nurture themselves, such as this episode on proactive fitness, then you inspire others to treat you well, and you inspire them to treat themselves well. Don't forget, we are constantly teaching others by whatever we model. So many ways to go about this, but the bottom line is, you are more in charge of your own quality of life than you may have realized. And showing up to keep fitness fun, gradual, in balance, nurturing. Find the things that you enjoy. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's the wackiest fitness, physical activity. Doesn't matter. Be true to you. You're the one who can identify what touches you, what matters to you, what's important to you, and then follow through. So that's it for this week. I look forward to sharing more fully. Please take the time to share these episodes with your friends and family. Please pass it on. The only way I can reach more people with these clues and hints about improved lives is with your help. Thank you so much. Let me know what you need. Reach out to me, email me, go to the Facebook group, Empowered at Last with Ron Baker. Let me hear from you and I will respond. You be proactive to make it happen. Have a great week.